Hey, it's Mark Ferguson with Invest for More. We're back at the laundromat to count quarters, collect money, but first, someone was saying our pop machine is not working again. And that's happened before, and we've been able to fix it. Hasn't been an issue. A lot of times it actually is working, but this time it really is not working at all. So what it was doing is you put quarters in, and they just go straight to the change machine. They're not going into the change collector. It seemed kind of loose when I was opening it. Like, I don't think anybody else would have been messing around in here, but it seemed kind of loose, which was weird. But I was trying to figure out what is going on. Obviously, if this happens, sometimes it's because there's money in there and people just have to press a button and get their pop, but that was not working. There's actually quite a bit of money in there, so people have been trying, although I could see there was pop that was gone too, so people probably got quite a bit of pop or soda, however you say it. And I think it just stopped working maybe yesterday. But I opened everything up, checked everything, and could not find what is going on here. Now, I did try my trick, which solves most problems, and that is I unplugged it and plugged it back in. And when I did that, it actually worked for like a set, like it took 2 quarters and then started doing it again. And so I don't know what is going on here. I am not sure how we can fix that, but yeah, it's just, it doesn't matter if the door's shut or not, it still should work. So I had actually priced some other machines before, thinking I might need to get a new pop machine, and maybe could add some more options like water, different things as well, get a more modern one. So that might be coming sooner rather than later, and I'll need to check into that because I'm not sure. This one might be dead. I also had my other guy come look at it who helps me with a bunch of different stuff. He's not an appliance repairman or anything, but I thought maybe he might have some ideas. He said he cleaned everything, checked out all the wires and everything, couldn't see any issues. So I didn't see any jams, not sure what's going on there. Alright, here's our vending machine, and quite a few people have been using it, and some of our new stuff has been doing pretty well, like beef jerky. I put that in a couple of weeks ago. It's been selling, and Cheez-Its, so that was cool to see, and most of the stuff has been working most of the time. Sometimes stuff gets jammed in that one too. More gold coins in there. So someone likes to pay with gold coins, gold dollar coins, so that's always kind of cool to see. Then there's our soap machine. That was pretty low. Quite a few items are down way below where they usually are, so we'll count that up to see how much is in here as well. And of course refill it. Of course my key fell off again, which seems to fall off all the time on my soap machine, so I did try and redo my key ring and fix that. It'll probably still fall off because, yeah, not bad there. And so we'll count all of this and see what we've got, and then of course we'll count the money in the washers and dryers, which is the most fun and always has the most. I need to check too. No jams this week, no jams. So sometimes that tied on the right will jam, won't come out all the way. Nothing for right now, so that's cool. All right, the pop machine money is in there right now. And if you're new to this, I do a sales chart at the end that shows the totals for all of these and goes back almost like a year now, showing all the trends of what we've had too. So 141 quarters plus it spat out a few dimes and nickels. That's okay, but again, I don't think we're going to get very much in sales since I put an out of order sign on the pop machine and nobody should use it this next week. Alright, that is the soap machine right there, and 150. That's actually less than I thought it would be considering how much I saw was gone, but still not bad. And then here we have the vending machine, and I just had to make sure I take out all of the gold coins. My coin counter counts quarters. I can set it to different things like nickels, dimes, but I just count quarters, and it spits out anything that's not a quarter. But those will jam it and not be good for it, so I've got to make sure I had. So I had 5 gold coins, and then we had 178 quarters, plus a pretty good amount of nickels and dimes there, at least another $1, maybe 2. All right, and we're going right into the coin boxes to see what we've got here. That's a really full coin box. That's one of the fullest ones I've ever had in that machine. So that's a fantastic start. I have this laundromat. I also have another smaller laundromat that is not doing nearly as well. The bigger the laundromat, the better. And in this laundromat, we set a record for quarters or money collected 2 weeks ago, I believe it was, with over $2,100 for the week. Last week was a little bit down, had kind of a down week, like $1,600 and some. So it'll be interesting to see where we stand here. As far as collecting money on the change machine, we ended up collecting $1,875 from the change machine. That was also another awesome box this week, which is the most we've collected in a long time as well. So that was cool to see too. And if you saw me drop the box, the security guard came and talked to me and came and said hi. So we are right next to the DMV, and they hire their own security guard, and honestly he does almost nothing all day long. So he comes and talks to us, hangs out quite a bit, talks to customers. Really cool guy. Just got back from paternity leave. We had a substitute security guard for a while, and yeah, happy to have the regular guy back. That is our lost and found. Just if you saw that random stuff sitting on the counter, that's just where we put stuff that people leave, and people leave stuff all the time. These are our horizons, and not as much in these. So again, sometimes the small machines have more than usual or less than usual. Sometimes the big ones have more than usual or less than usual. Just always interesting to see what's going on here. Now that first machine's a 50-pound washer that had all the quarters in it, and we've got a couple of those up front too. Our up front machines are our best machines, but one of them has been down. So we've been trying to figure out what's going on, if it's a drain, if it's something else. We took apart the whole drain and everything, and we think it's working better now. That happened after I was collecting quarters, but it still seemed to have a little bit of a hiccup and a delay around 15 minutes or so. But hopefully it keeps working and does okay. That one I think has a motherboard issue, which is a very expensive issue. So we're gonna just let that little guy be out of order for a little while. But we have quite a few machines. I mean, there have been some times, it's pretty rare, where I think every machine was in use, but that's really, really rare. So for the most part, having a couple out of order doesn't really hurt things. And for those who say it looks bad, every single laundromat you go to, unless it's like brand new and just built, has out of order signs all over. It's hard to find people to fix stuff. It's hard to find people to maintain things, and they can be very expensive if you find those people. And then the machines just break all the time, constantly, even new ones. So, and people might ask why I don't just buy all new machines, and you could retool. Some laundromats do that. To get all new machines in this laundromat, it would probably be $200,000 to $300,000, maybe. People will take loans out to do that, and then by the time you pay off your loan, it's kind of time to retool again and do that over and over. If you go that route, and I just prefer to not go that route and get loans for new machines, since we can keep most of these working pretty well, and they're mostly working. That's my strategy. All right, here are the big machines. So I switched buckets to my other bucket I already collected once this week with these, because they get too full if I don't, and we'll count them separate. That's a good one. But like I said, these have more in them than usual, because I'm pretty sure this is my most popular machine. This one right here is out of order, and I think that's the one that should be fixed. I'm hoping. I really hope we don't get calls this weekend saying, your machine won't turn off. What's going on? What do we do? Those aren't fun calls to get. And that's my biggest machine, the 60-pounder right there, which you think would be my most popular, but the other one's better. All right, now we will count this up and see what we've got. This is the front washers to start with. So those are the ones up front. We just kind of do that separately just to see how they do versus the rest. And I figure we usually have about 1,600 to 2,000 quarters in those front machines. And if I get that one fixed, we'll definitely be able to increase that, hopefully. But with it down, there's a chance we don't even get to 1,600. It was down most of last week, though, too. And let's see here. I'm thankful for a change machine, a change counter that works pretty good, that's for sure. That doesn't look like very much. My My bucket for my other machines looks pretty good, but that 1519. So yeah, that's our lowest we've had in a while for the front ones. But we'll see what all the rest had. And we've got to scoop. That's pretty heavy, so we'll scoop all that in there. Now here, it's nice to see 5,000 quarters total for the washers. Last week was pretty low. The week before that was amazing. So we'll see where we end up today. As you can see, we sped that up a little bit at the end, and we had over 5,200 quarters, so that was good to see. Definitely a good week from the washers. And then we're checking the dryers right now. So again, we'll have a chart at the end that kind of shows how this lines up versus everything else. We're also trying to fix some of these dryers too, because we have some old motherboards, and I think that might be the issue on some of them. But my guy had switched out a couple motherboards on one of them. They're just getting no power at all, nothing at all. Those didn't seem to work, so there must be something else going on there. And then it did not fix the other ones too. One has no heat, one we think the drum might be going bad on it. Although, now that I think about it, I feel like that first bottom one on the left that's out of order is the one we already put a new drum in, or the old awful laundromat guys put a new drum in, and it's already not working right. Everything they did was awful. And I'm going to do this. Someone suggested I do a members only video. They have a members only channel for stuff I just don't want to be too public. I haven't done a video on there for a little while, but I need to do one just kind of showing exactly what they charged me or tried to collect from me, because they gave me an astronomical bill. And I haven't paid it. And we'll see what happens with it, because everything they did was just awful and broke and didn't work right. Half the stuff they did, they didn't even fix. Is crazy. And I asked for like an itemized bill to show what they actually did. They wouldn't give it to me. They just gave me hours and parts and trip fees. And half of the parts cost, they didn't even list what the part was. They just said part and a price on it. I'm like, okay. So, yeah, like I said, it's tough to find good people. I found some other guys who are really good, fix machines. They installed a bunch of the machines here, fixed a bunch of the machines here. But they're very expensive. Charge hundreds of dollars an hour, plus trip fees and everything, and they don't always know everything either. So it gets tricky trying to do that. So we try to learn as much as we can on our own, and avoid paying thousands of dollars in repair costs every month, because that would eat up any money we make. All right, here's the dryer money, and we like to be over 1,600 here, 1,600 quarters, which is $400, and we'll see what this ends up being. Seemed like some of those boxes were very full, so that's good to see. This is looking pretty good. Over 1,800. Very, very nice. And here is the sales chart starting back from December when we first opened the laundromat. I took it over in September, and we spent way too long fixing it up. And part of that was the old laundromat repair guys who are just super slow, super awful, broke more things than they fixed. And I actually released a members only video kind of detailing how much they're still trying to collect from me, which is pretty crazy considering what they did. So things have been steadily better, which is cool to see. You probably saw my old laundromat video or my small laundromat video, and it's all over the place and so much less consistent. And one small thing kind of just kills sales, where a bigger laundromat is just so much easier and consistent. And mine isn't even considered big, right? It was a lot of people who own laundromats would probably consider mine on the small side, maybe medium small. And I wish I had more space because I could definitely use more machines, more dryers, but there simply is not anywhere to put them unless a DMV were to leave. But I don't know if I need that much space. That'd be pretty cool to have a giant one. But again, it would cost hundreds of thousands of dollars to put machines into a giant laundromat like that as well. So pros and cons to the big and the small. But here you can see what happened the last couple of weeks. We had that record right there. Then we had a down week. And this week, $18.90. So pretty good. I think that might be like our third or fourth best week ever. And we had a lot of cash. We had more cash in there than we've had any other week since I've started keeping track of it. I can't remember if we had more in the past. We might have, but I didn't always add up all my cash for the week. Our washers did good. Dryers did decent. Vending did okay. So that was cool to see. Now, if our pop machine's down or we don't get a new one, we'll have a slight decrease in sales here, but nothing too crazy. Or usually generates $20 to $40 a week. So not too bad. But I think it's nice for customers to have that option because a lot of people like to have something to drink while they're there doing laundry. So I need to figure out something there. Otherwise, things seem to be going pretty smooth. Like I said, we did go back, try to fix some of the machines. I think we fixed the big 50-pounder in front. We'll see. And then the dryers, replacing the motherboards, did not fix those, so it's another issue. So we'll have to figure out something on those. And eventually, at some point, we might have to bring back the really good laundromat repair guys and see if they can fix some of these issues, hopefully, like all in one day at one time, so they aren't coming back and just racking up thousands and thousands of dollars in repair bills. Because we do make money, we make a profit, but it's not a massive amount of money. Our expenses are about $4,500 a month. And so, yeah, if you have to bring in the repair guys every single month, they could easily eat up almost all of your profit, especially on top of what I have to pay my guy to go in there and do some work on it too, or parts we have to buy, things like that. All right, that's the laundromat. Good to see sales continue to go up. I'd love to see a bigger increase and it's kind of break through that plateau and see it keep going up and up and up. We'll have to see what happens the rest of this winter. We could always raise prices some more. I know we're still really, really cheap compared to other laundromats, but we've had to build up our customer base again too because we were closed for a little while. People left, or we have to attract more customers. I think having it really clean, being responsive to people, trying to listen to people really helps a lot. So hopefully that keeps people coming back, and hopefully we attract more customers as word gets around. I haven't really done much marketing. I could do more of that as well. So there's always things I can do a little better too, but there's just a lot of different things you can do, and you can't always do everything all at once, but you can do little things over time, and hopefully that helps build business. All right, thanks for watching. Appreciate any of the comments, and we'll be back with more on our flips, rentals, other businesses soon.